Okay, so this week is a little bit transparent for me. I want to talk to you about love, the fruit, specifically the fruit of the Spirit, love. And unfortunately, I have an example that I can share with you that I was not loving. I think that most of us have Facebook accounts and most of us check them, and often they're very exciting, and it's fun to see who's going to be having a baby, who just had a baby, who's going on vacation where, and all those kinds of things. But also there's some major life events that people throw out there. So it's good. I like to keep track. It's good to be up to speed on what people want you to know about their lives. Well, the other day I was on there and I would say a friend, but more of an acquaintance, had some pictures up of an activity that she did with her kids and a couple of other ladies. And man, as soon as I saw those pictures, I was all kinds of things. I was envious. I was jealous. Why did they go without me? Right? I was just full of all of these emotions that looked like so much fun. Why didn't I get an invitation to go? And man, it was so intensely crazy. Like, again, not even somebody that I'm really even that close with, but just surprised that I didn't get an invitation to go. Oh man, it took me a good couple of hours to get over myself, to get over the hurt, because I did truly feel hurt that I wasn't invited to go. And then to start to work through those feelings of, okay, fine, if they're not going to invite me to this, then I'm going to do something else fun and not invite them. Like really, really childish thoughts, right? And all these thoughts happened very quickly, but then lasted for a little while where I had to work to get over them. And one of the sets of verses that came to my mind was the talking about love, right? The love chapter in 1 Corinthians. And wow, that was really challenging because it says love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It is not rude. It's not easily angered. It does not delight in evil, but rejoices in the truth. It keeps no record of wrongs. It always trusts, always hopes, always protects, and always perseveres. Love never fails. Man, it'd be really easy, and it is really easy, to see the places that I failed in my love towards these other women. I was so selfish. I was so focused on myself and so focused on what I wanted that I was not being loving. And it's so challenging because as soon as you start to get some of those verses going, there's always that extra layer, right? Like an onion, that God is still working in us. He who began a good work in us is faithful to complete it, right? But man, some days it feels like we have a really long road to go. And I would just encourage you guys to commit those verses to memory. I know that I messed it up in there a little bit, but at least you'll get the idea of where to go. But commit those verses to memory, and as I just demonstrated, they don't have to be perfect or verbatim, but the concept there, and let God bring those to your mind when you face a situation, whatever your situation is that makes you feel unloving. Probably one of the most challenging parts to that to me is keeping no record of wrongs. Again, it's not that I've totally forgotten if someone has done something that hurt me, but I can't sit here and tell you a day, date, and time of most of the things that have happened, and I certainly don't try to focus on it to make sure that I can defend myself, because that's kind of been something in my past that I've felt like I needed to remember and needed to have that, or else I don't have the information to defend myself. Well, you know what? God is your defense, and we just need to work to let those things go. As women, just let it go. And don't hold on to that. Don't keep a record of wrongs. And Lord willing, we will all keep developing this love that the Spirit wants to develop in us so that people can tell, right? So that people can tell that we are Christians. And that's the fruit that we want all over our tree so that there's no doubt as to what kind of person we are. That we're a Christian filled with the fruit of Jesus Christ.